There was an invader from space who chose to make Earth his base. When cheese snips were found, more invaders came down, and now they're all over the place. Good morning all, this is an Entex Space Invader machine. It fits better that way, doesn't it? This should have been a TikTok video really, shouldn't it? But let's switch it on. Oh, I can't see anything. I can't see anything. I can barely see anything. Even in the... You can't see that at all, can you? I'm going to have to lower the light level. Right, let's try that. Yeah, it crashes sometimes. Oh, it's bad, isn't it? Yes, it's really struggling. Let me just check the batteries. Yes, I know. Do not mix battery types. Well, they're all alkaline, but it should be fine. Oh, there we are. Oh, no, that's not right. Oh, that's weird. I think if you hit these big ships, you get quite a lot of points. But I don't think it's meant to do that. No, that's not working. It's crashed. Let's try it once. And what was the score? 480. That was immense. Oh, it's so annoying when those missiles come down. They don't seem to happen on the left. So if I just sit on the left, I reckon I can probably win this just by sitting on the left. Yes! 28 points. And then it shows 28 and nothing you can do, even the pro and amateur switch, puts this in any other mode. So it kind of enters an end loop. It's multiplexing the display. Well, you can see that anyway, can't you, with the flickering. But it just sticks and you have to switch it off and back on again to play again. But anyway, that is a Space Invaders machine from the 1980s. Which my friend and I won in a competition where you had to write a limerick. And if you're wondering in the opening limerick where cheese snips came from, well, you had to write a limerick containing the words cheese snips. Now, I thought I'd checked online for cheese snips and couldn't find anything, but today I have. Look at this. There's a Pinterest picture. And there they are, McVitie's cheese snips. So I'm pretty certain that it was McVitie's that ran this competition to win a Space Invaders machine. And there are the cheese snips that the competition was obviously printed on the packet of. And I would imagine you had to include half a dozen empty packets to enter the competition. I can't remember. But now I'm going to search for cheese snips Space Invaders. And I found this image again on Pinterest. This Space Invader eats Crawford's, they're now Crawford's, not McVitie's, mini shorties, cheese snips, and cheese extra specials. So there is obviously some connection between Space Invaders and cheese snips. That's interesting. I'm going to look up the Entex Space Invader machine now. And yeah, there are Entex Space Invader machines here. There's a couple here on eBay, but they're only worth $29.95. So haven't made a fortune in the 40 years that I've had this machine. Oh, there are some here with the box, look. I remember the box, actually. What happened to the box? Did we throw it away? I'll just check out this. Yeah, when this crashes, and it does it quite a lot, the LEDs come on really bright. When they're multiplexed, of course, they're really dim. They're so dim, you can barely see this thing. It's awful. Now, the Pro Amateur switch, if you put it on Pro, I think it just raises the clock frequency slightly. That's all it seems to do. I better start firing, hadn't I? Yo! I mean, yeah. Score. Oh, it's still running. Well, anyway, we need to take this thing apart and see what's inside. See what 1980s vintage microprocessor, microcontroller even, is inside this thing. Right, batteries out. The battery compartment is really tight. actually, although that doesn't seem to help the crashing issue. Did I need to take those out? Probably not. Oh, there's a lot of corrosion down there. What have you been doing to this, Brett? Right, okay, so screwdriver required. Oh, I have one here. Let's get these 4 screws out and see what 1980s electronic wonders we have inside. I like 1980s electronics. That's when electronics was fun and everyone wrote software and machine code and you didn't have IDEs and libraries and things that didn't work. Ooh, okay. Well, this is really interesting. I wasn't expecting it to be quite like this. I mean, SRBP single-sided circuit board, yes, but these buttons are really strange. They've actually got little PCBs sat on top of PCBs with it's a rubber membrane with a conductive pad inside it, I presume, but it's all kind of integrated and it's fixed onto the board. And then in the top unit, you've just got these plastic button tops. But yeah, they're rather unusual. They're not your usual sort of membrane push buttons. And the display is even stranger because in here, no surface mount LEDs because they didn't exist back then, but we've actually got sort of, I presume, hand assembled LED wires directly on this green PCB sitting in little plastic channels. I'll try and get a close-up of that. So this is not so much chip on board and it's not surface mount component on board, but it's hand assembled. I'm not sure if I'm getting those little wires. Can you see the little diode wires that have been, I don't know how they've been assembled onto the board, but each diode is implemented as a wire bonded onto a bit of semiconductor, I presume. I don't know whether that's done by hand or whether that's done by machine. But yeah, that's a real strange implementation. Rather than just use, I don't know, 3mm LEDs soldered into the board, they've gone with this really strange implementation. Now, is the 7-segment display done the same way? It might be actually, because it looks like we've got plastic assemblies which create the channels, and it's quite possible, I can't get this overlay off that section, it's glued onto there, but it's quite possible that that's been implemented, oh there we are, in a similar way. Oh, there's an extra digit there that's not actually on the display, and I guess that that one probably doesn't have diodes in it, but I guess that the diodes have been implemented in a very similar way. They're just a little die stuck down onto the board and a wire assembled onto the die. Yeah, that's interesting technique. That's the sort of early version of surface mount, I guess. Is there a name for this construction technique? Does anyone know? Interesting that this board is a Toshiba part, a BGI 01. The baseboard is a Sarashima. I mean, that sounds Japanese, doesn't it? In fact, this is all Japanese, isn't it? This machine must have been made in Japan. We've got lots of resistors there, and in fact, you can't see them. You will be able to if I get this torch. You can see lots of sort of row driver transistors. Yeah, row, if I hold it that way up. Row driver transistors and some transistors down the bottom. And then the main chip is this. Now, I was expecting a TMS 1000, but in here we've got an MP1211. I very much doubt there's any data on that, but I'll have a quick look. Well, there was obviously a calculator called an MP1211, but there is also this MP1211 TI Integrated Circuits Jotrin Electronics, and it's a DIP 28, and that chip, yeah, does look like a 28. What would that make it? 14 per side. Yeah, it does look like that. And it just says the MP1211 parts manufactured by TI are available at Jotrin, but it just doesn't say much about it, what it is. MP1211 PDF, and that says sign in. So yeah, that's not going to go any further than that, is it?
Yes, that is a Texas Instruments part. There's the TI logo, MP1211. So if you can find out anything more about that, let me know. Right, let's put this back together. I'm going to have to do it by lowering that down upside down, I think, so that these buttons don't fall out. Right, put the screws in. Space Invader instructions are all a bit worn off, aren't they? However,
if you do a Google search for Entex Space Invader, you also get this, which is the original set of instructions: electronic sound effects, automatic something. Oh, that's automatic scoring, I think. Progressive degree of difficulty, blah, blah, blah. Adapter jack. My unit doesn't have an adapter jack. Interesting.
yeah, these are very tight in the battery compartment, but then I guess they need to be to stop this thing. Yeah, that's working. I'll have to lower the lights again. Here we go. Oh, it is dark, isn't it? Yeah, they don't stand a chance, these Space Invaders. Oh, they got me. So I was just thinking, when you write a comment in the comments section, why not write it in the form of a limerick? A 5-line rhyme of structure A, A, B, B, A, with correct rhythm, da 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 da. Why not give that a go? Cheerio.